Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Electronics and Communication welcomes you to the session of wireless communication. Today I am going to discuss about the cellular concept with topic basics of cellular system. So let's start the session. First of all, why cellular concept is necessary or why cellular concept is introduced. So first of all, as you can see that when the high power transmitters are used in this figure, you can see that when the high power transmitters are used in the olden days, then they can create the system congestion, or we can say that the channel utilization is not proper in that case. So we will do one thing, that the cells, the one most common cell is divided into the number of small cells, and we placed each transmitter in the individual cell and create one cellular system. So the basic concept of introducing the cellular system is to create the system utilization most proper than the older one. Now the question is why hexagon geometry is generally preferred over the general shapes that are used. So first let's talk about the circle shape. So if you take the circle shape, then you can see in this figure that there may be adjacent cell spacing in between each cell, or we can say that in that particular area the overall circular pattern is not created, and we can say that at that distance or at that portion we can say that the range is not covered and which is not desirable. So let's take one another shape, that is rectangle shape. So in the rectangle shape we can say that the overall area is converted, but now the question is that the area covered by the rectangle is given by A into B, where A and B are the sides of the rectangle, which is small. Now we take one another case of square. So in case of square also, the area covered is given by the A square, means side square. So another case is also not desirable because area covered in both of them means in case of rectangle and in case of the square, both area covered is comparatively small compared to the circle. So we cannot take these two cases. Then in case of triangle also, the area covered is small compared to the circle, or we can say that in case of hexagon. So we take the case of the hexagon. Now in case of hexagon, the area covered is given by 3√3 by 2 into A square, means the area covered in the rectangle is very high as compared to the other shapes. So that's why we take the area covered by hexagon as the most preferred choice over the other shapes. So that's why we take the hexagon. Even the hexagon's geometry, or we can say that hexagon's radiation pattern is more directional compared to the other shapes' radiation pattern, or we can say that we can use the directional antenna to cover the complete area by itself. So that's why generally the hexagon geometry is preferred. Next is frequency reuse concept. So frequency reuse is mostly the selection and allocation of frequency under different channels. So in case of this figure, you can see that there are the number of cells that are used over here. Now these number of cells are divided into name A, B and C. Now if we choose the case where this named A uses the same set of frequency, then we can say that that number of cells uses the same set of frequency, and we can say that resource wastage by using the frequency reuse concept is not possible and it is always desirable also. So that's why we take the case of frequency reuse to reallocate, or we can say that selection of proper channel that can be possible with it. Now if we do the case without frequency reuse, so in this figure you can say that the without frequency reuse concept, the one base station antenna is connected over the one cellular cell So here the height of antenna should be more as desirable compared to the desirable height. And if we choose the frequency reuse concept, then in that case the height of antenna should be as minimum as possible, means the height of antenna is reduced by using the frequency reuse concept. So this is basically frequency reuse. Now let's see how it can determine the system capacity. So let's start with it. Capacity of cellular system depends on its cluster size. Now let's see that what will be the cluster size. So cluster size is basically given by or denoted by the capital N, and N is equal to I square plus Ij plus J square, where I and J are the non-negative integers number. Where the system capacity is basically the number of channels that are used over the complete cellular system. So capacity is determined by the cluster replicated into number of channels, means the number of channels that are used in one particular cell into the number of cells that are replicated in that particular circular area. If we take the case of with the example, then if one cell uses the 4 number of channels and there are total 30 number of cells, then we can say that total 30 into 4 means 120 number of channels are needed. So that is nothing but the cellular cell capacity. So cellular cell capacity answer is always in terms of channels. Next is co-channel concept. Co-channel concept is actually associated with the adjacent channel interference and co-channel interference. Basically, the co-channel interference means the number of cells that uses the same set of frequency, or we can say that the interference between the co-channel cells are called as a co-channel interference. Now, distance to frequency reuse is also matter that we will see in the next lecture. Up to this, we can see that the distance to frequency reuse ratio depends on the cluster size. Means if the cluster size is affected, then it affects the distance to frequency reuse ratio. As the cluster size increases, distance to frequency ratio again increases. So more the cluster size, more the distance to frequency reuse ratio, and more the signal to interference ratio. So it is always desirable case to increase the cluster size as much as possible. Next is channel assignment techniques. Channel assignment is necessary to utilize the proper set of channels during the cellular system. There can be two types of channel assignment technique that we will see in the classification session. Mainly the objective is to increase the number of available channels without the degradation of quality of service. Now what are that quality of service? So these are the list of that quality of service, that is efficient utilization of channel, increasing the capacity and minimizing the interference. Means the main concept of the channel assignment is to minimize the interference ratio and the increasing the quality of service. Now classification. Mainly the channel assignment techniques are classified into the two basic categories, that are fixed channel assignment and dynamic channel assignment. Now let's talk about the fixed channel assignment first. So fixed channel assignment is basically the predetermined set of channels that are associated with the one complete cellular system. Means the set of channels are fixed. If the new user entered and it requires that a particular number of channels, then it is not allotted to that user, but completely the call is rejected. While in case of the dynamic channel concept, this will not be possible, because in case of dynamic channel concept, we can say that the channels are dynamically associated, and because of that we can say that as per the requirement of users, this number of channels are mainly used and that are given to the system. So basically in case of dynamic channel concept, we can say that it reduces the probability of cell borrowing that is possible with the only fixed channel assignment. So it is the major concern of the dynamic channel assignment. Then traffic distribution is properly done And always due to the as per the user requirement allocation of channels, we can say that radio signal strength of channel is increases, and we can say that performance in that case is better than the previous one. So these all concepts are for dynamic channel assignment technique. So mostly this dynamic channel assignment concept is more preferred choice for the channel assignment technique over the fixed channel assignment. So this one is for the classification of channel assignment technique. Next is handoff strategies. So basically you can see that the handoff, mainly the definition of handoff is, you can see in the video that when user, you can see that the user that is in a car is traveling from one base station to another base station. You can see that the signal strength is reducing as he enters in the area number 2. Here you can note that the signal strength is reduces as user moves away from the base station area, or we can say that when user is nearer to base station area, the signal strength is more. So basically handoff is when user moves from one base station or service area to another base station or service area. Here you can note that the signal strength is affected with the network as we move from the base station, and it increases as we again enter into the new base station. Also the different terms are associated with it, that is the roaming capability or location register, that we will see in the detail in the unit number 5. After this, you do not worry about the different terms. Mainly we have to consider only the handoff strategy, that is this. Now in this case you can also note that the handoff procedure is also divided into the different categories. So we can say that in case of handoff strategies, it is mainly classified into the number of handoff strategies like dwell time, or we can say that mobile assisted handoff, or you can note it in an umbrella cell concept. So this number of handoff concepts are divided into the different channel assignment techniques also, or we can also classify into the predetermined set, or we can say that in a dynamic set it is also possible. So let's see about it. So different handoff strategies. First is proper versus improper handoff. In case of proper handoff, you can see that in this case the signal strength is divided with respect to time. Means the graph is for the signal strength versus time graph, and you can note that the base stations are divided into one base station and another base station. So in case of improper handoff, you can note that the signal is completely dropped because of the delta value. Delta is basically the received signal strength minus the applied radio signal strength. So if the received signal strength is less compared to the applied, then you can say that it is an improper handoff case, and you can see in this figure that the cell is completely, the signal strength is reduced, means no handoff will occur in the case of improper handoff. Now in case of proper handoff also, you can note that in case of proper handoff, all these VCs that are divided into the proper handoff that are like this. In this case, you can note that this handoff signal is not completely broken, or we can say that it is like a make before break type connection in case of proper handoff. So this is always desirable that handoff should be proper compared to improper, because in that case the signal strength is not affected. So these are the two cases of improper and proper handoff. Next is inter-system handoff. Inter-system handoff is also called as the inter-MSC handoff, means handoff between two MSCs are inter-system handoff. Next is dwell time. Dwell time is the time that the time required for that time the call is maintained to a particular level, that is called as a dwell time. It is affected by the propagation delay also. Next is MAHO. So MAHO means the mobile assisted handoff. Mobile assisted handoff means it always determined with the signal strength. As we can say that signal strength is reduces compared to the predetermined level of the signal, then at that time the handoff is associated, or we can say that at that time handoff is initiated. Means handoff only occur when the signal strength is reduced to the one predetermined radio signal strength, then only the handoff will occur. Next is priority based handoff. So in case of priority based handoff, there are again two types: guard channel concept and queuing. Guard channel concept is basically similar to the fixed channel assignment of channel. In the fixed channel assignment, we will see that these set of channels are predetermined associated to the particular set of channels, and in case of queuing, the set of channels are queued into particular sequence that at a time one channel will start propagating the wave, and then the second channel will start, and then the third. So in case of queuing, we can say that channel borrowing is completely ignored, or we can say that channel borrowing is not necessary in case of queuing case, while in case of guard channel concept it is necessary. Next is umbrella cell concept. So for umbrella cell concept discussion, consider this figure. In case of umbrella cell concept, you can see that number of cells are divided into a number of areas. Here you can see that the suburban area or urban area, or you can say that this complete area, that is global area, is you can say that it is a one larger number of cells, means the global cell is one, and the other cells are like you can say that urban area or suburban area, means as the number of requirements users are less, then you can choose wisely for that number of cells, that it is a suburban area or urban area. You can note that for the high velocity traffic you can choose the larger number of cells, and or you can say that the bigger cell, and for the small traffic requirement you choose the small size of cells. So for this, consider this figure. Here in this figure you can note that the larger number of cells is for the high velocity user, and the smaller cells are associated with the small velocity, or we can say that where the traffic requirements are less, and at that time this number of cells are required, small number of cells. So at each number of cells we can say that the number of handoff required for this umbrella cell concept is reduced. So as the number of handoff are reduced, you can say that base stations move from the one base station to another base station, that requirements also reduces, and we can say that by using this concept the channel utilization is more possible. So this is up to handoff strategies. Now if you have any queries or doubts regarding this session, you can ask me on my